come to your seat, come to your breath. I think we can all see each other. Perfect. So just play with your legs for a minute. Cross and then recross. Once, twice, 3 times. Something to find a new sensation in your body. And then once you arrive at your seat, I hope you can everyone hear well? Yeah? Thumbs up? Good. I see actions happening. That's good. Come and land in whichever one feels most at home for your body this morning. Good. Take a breath in. Let your hands greet your knees. Let your knees resist back to your hands, and take that first full deep breath from your root of your tailbone all the way to and beyond the crown of your head. Feel the side ribs lengthen. As you exhale, shoulder blades travel down the back, and just flip your palms face up, fingers reaching toward the earth. We'll come to Chin Mudra, our more traditional yoga mudra, first finger wrapped inside the thumb. Now this is the nice connection of the individual consciousness with the universal consciousness. The individual, the index finger, universal, the thumb. So we take that limited perspective of being and we wrap it into that expanded perspective of being. So breathe fully, an awakening breath all the way down to your root. An awakening breath to the root chakra. Feel that red spinning ball of light support you. As you exhale, soften over that support and start to feel a little lighter on the inside. Let your next breath rise from the root to your sacral center, your creative chakra, the pelvic sacral area, and breathe that orange ball of light getting brighter and more expansive on the inside on the inhale. And as we exhale, we suspend ourselves, we float over that inner glow. Let your next deep in breath, these breaths of pulsation, reach from the root past the solar plexus, past the pelvis to your solar plexus, your rib area, that center of ego, of I, that big yellow, bright spinning circle of light. So as the breath swirls in, it swirls around and it gets the energy moving on the inside. First, the exhale is again softening the efforting body over that brightness on the inside. Next, inhale from the root, past sacral, past solar plexus, all the way into your heart center. And we forget to breathe to the sides and the back as well as the front. So inhale that big green ball of effervescent spinning light at the center of your heart. So simply by bringing awareness there, we notice these shifts we can make on the inside that we can then move around. The exhale, letting go of extra effort. Inhale again, root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, all the way to your throat center, that clear blue, crystal blue light of expression, of brightness, of fullness. So we expand the space around our neck, our throat, our heart. Often we get so contracted in here. And exhale, it can even be a physical, verbal. Exhale, release whatever remnants might have been wrapped up there. And finally, root. Inhaling, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, all the way to third eye. And I love the way just by bringing our energy there, we feel more movement, we feel more vibrancy, that deep royal blue color that expands, that shifts our inner awareness. The exhale, again, that gentle reminder to soften our outer being over this inner brightness. And finally, breathing root, pelvis, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, all the way to your crown of your head and beyond, that violent cascade of light that encompasses us, that is us. So in the spirit of the goddess of Lakshmi, we breathe in that divine spark. Reach your arms out and up, your fingers fingers can open so we shine bright. Inhale, hands to the heavens, and exhale, we'll just move into a twist. Pick a side. Twist front hand to front knee, back hand to earth behind. So now we're still focusing on all these circles of light within, but we're moving around them, so spin around your central axis. Exhale completely to wring out the old breath. Inhale, root down to reach your hands all the way up. Pause to make sure the shoulder blades travel down and the inner body is bright. Exhale, second side, moving into our inner being. Root the hand to the knee, the fingers to the earth. Exhale, belly to spine, and drift your gaze very casually over your shoulder as if just glimpsing somewhere you might have come from. Good. Inhale back through center. Reaching up, gathering that big bundle of light. Exhale down the midline, all the way to the earth, and cascade forward. Fingertips reach the earth, just bow in so your back body lengthens. Setting that ripple of breath from tailbone to crown, feeling all those circles of light, your chakra centers on the back body become awakened with awareness too. Inhale to unfurl, gather knees and hands, come to cobbler pose, Baddha Konasana. Take a little press, hands to knees to shine a little brighter. Nice. Turn the palms up again. Chin mudra to combine our inner awareness with the outer realm. And inhale, reaching back up. Full and bright. Okay, we'll take a crescent before we twist. So open your palms halfway, lean to one side, root down, and lengthen. Notice if the body curls forward, invite it to lean back. Breathe from tailbone to crown, pausing with your in-breath to ignite each circle of light along the way. And then exhale, front hand comes down to the knee. So we're in a twist. Lift the back arm up, crescent again, over this bounded shape. This is us often in life, feeling bounded but still reaching for fullness. Ooh. Exhale, turn forward, front hand to knee, so your arms cross in front of your heart. Nice. Inhale, unfurl, lift your arms, coming to eagle. So we lift the palms, find that bind, just reach the elbows up. Reach the elbows down. Playing that pulsation of life force. Unfurl your wings, your heart, your gaze, your breath, crescent to the second side. We've only got two, you know where you went. Again, balance, front, back first. And then twist your heart down, hand to front knee. So we come into that spin of our body to the side. Inhale, back hand up. Exhale, leaning over. Pause just to be in this spaciousness first, and then allow the hand to drift down to the knee. Cross the upper arm bones, a little wiggle to get a full bind, and inhale, unfurl your wings. It's like a pause where the palms press, the breath reaches even further within. It's hard to breathe into twists, but can we invite that circle of light, that swirling breath to continue to encompass us? A little bow in, exhaling, inhaling, reaching up. Nice. Sweep your hands down to the earth, gather your knees, take your feet wide on the mat, coming to Upavista. And just rock your feet for a moment, side to side, so your femur bones swivel inside the pelvis. We get that little awakening. It can be fast or slow, your call. Take a breath in, sweep your hands out to the side, reach your arms up. You can press your heels and feel like you're dragging them toward you. So we actually lift away from the earth, up on to our sit bones first. Nice. Open your arms to receive. So that's that invitation of Lakshmi, that little spark to take seed within. Exhale, twist to your first side. Come back to your crescent. So we take that reach, making space. And we'll let the feet lay down toward the side you're turning. And thread your lifted arm under the arm on the earth. So we come into a twist, almost lying down on the earth. So walk your hands through. Exhaling completely, arm bone may lower toward the earth or stay a little hovered. Take an exhale, belly backs up toward the spine to make more room. The gaze is either to the right or the left. Find a little spark within this closed, folded shape. Then inhale, slowly unfurl the threaded arm, lift the back arm, float your way back to center, rock your feet a little bit side to side, and we'll crescent down, second side. Toes turn, arm reaches over. The invitation to expand from the inside out. Exhale, let the feet lay toward the direction you're doing. The belly turns. We start the twist from our root, our low belly, our sacrum, our solar plexus, our heart. Let the arm root down toward the earth. So you come into this laying, twisted star shape on your arm. My head's in my plan. Wherever you end up is where you are supposed to be. Take a full inhale to the back body, a full exhale as you drop in. You might feel the sacrum being released, being lengthened, being invited to shift in this moment in time. Inhale to unfurl. Oh, nice. Unthread, reach up, arms wide. So our inhale down to the root. Each in-breath is this concept is clean, clear, and aligned. Feet go back to the first side. Option to lift hips. Hand to earth. Dial your arm in. Maybe press the earth away and come into a lifted crescent shape. As you breathe down first to your roots, the invitation, clean, clear, align. Exhale, breath from root to sacrum. As you lower your hips, sweep your hands, come through that twist to second side. The toes turn and land. Knees bend a little bit so the soles of the feet can find the earth. Now root to rise, solar plexus, from sacrum to solar plexus, orange to yellow, clean, clear, align so we can shine a little brighter. Nice. Exhale, slowly let the hips come down, honoring that back shoulder, sweeping through the midline. Turn to the first leg and lay yourself down over that limb. Your hands can go outside of the foot. They can hold the foot, taking this triangular shape of our legs, twisting over one leg and folding inward. Awareness more inward. Full exhale. Inhale, unfurl. Twist to the second side. Exhale to extend, reach, and root. So we're breathing from solar plexus to heart. Clean, clear, align. Nice. Inhale, back up. Gather your knees in your hands. Spin your legs together. That was our little awakening flow. We'll come down to our back. So legs in one plane, hands to knees, heart to sky. We pause in this place. Heart bright. Inhale, heart center. Clean, clear, align. Start to unfurl down to the earth, finding each area we've tapped into. Root, red, sacrum, orange, solar plexus, yellow, being laid down, heart green. So acknowledge each area of our being. Good. Throat, blue, crown, dark blue, third eye, crown, indigo, arms out to a T. You can take your chin mudra if you wish. Bring your feet a little bit closer and align your back body with the earth. Press the big toes away energetically so your belly drops in and your back line of chakras connects to that spark of light as Lakshmi is born from the ocean floor. Flick your toes toward the heavens. Nice. You can take a little ankle circle or two to greet the day. Arms can slide above your head like a big yawn. Just reach. Hands above your head, your feet to the heavens. And we'll just go for a walk with our legs. Exhale one leg down. Maybe tap the heel. Let the breath switch and they cross in the middle. So let the breath move as it would, as if you were walking. Just go for a meander. Keeping the belly softly dropping inward, the back body reaching to greet the earth. The arm bones can be a little wide, also rooting down toward the earth. So we're fully connected to source, to where we come from the beginning. Nice. End up with your legs to the sky. Reach your hands to the base of your skull. Lift the head off the earth. Your fingertips are just very light beneath the base of the skull. And we'll add a little upper body twist as we continue our meander through this energetic space. So lower one leg, tap that elbow toward the opposite knee. So it's across the body. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Exhale, switch elbow to thigh. So really play breath. Inhale, exhale. Enjoy this journey. Let each switch represent one area of your being, from root to sacrum to solar plexus to heart to throat to third eye to crown. We're weaving light deep into our entire being. So finish the second side. Keep your legs lifted. Lower your head and arms back to the earth on a full exhale. And greet your back body to that connection. Nice. Next play is arms to sky. Head and hands to toes. Either leg straight or knees bent. So inhale here. Exhale, open your leg. Lower your legs and lower your arms. Whenever you get to the place where your back body leaves the earth or your belly sticks out, that's losing energy. That's where you pause and come back up. So it's not how far we go, but how we go far. I like to hook thumbs and press big toes. Exhaling to open and inhaling to lift and close. So like a clam being breathed, the ocean water floating over you. Just one or two more plays. Don't have to go too far. Just this play of connection to source, no matter what. After the next one, bend your knees, hug them in. Gratitude. Make sure your breath is still moving. Let the knees rock a little wide. You can move your hips around. Take a little happy baby. Press one knee under one toward the armpit. So there's movement in your hips and your sacrum, and then we'll root to rise. Press the feet away, hands to the outer knee crease, head lifts. So inhale. Inhale all the way down to your root. Slowly let the shift happen as you start to rise above the water. Find this place where we are in the light and the bright. Reach your hands forward. One little switch each side. A reminder we can play the same breath dance above the water as below. Come to the middle. Lower your feet. Draw your ankles in. Breathe your way to a squat. Use your hands, whatever it takes to arrive there. Pedal your legs a little wide. A greeting for the day, and we'll breathe our way to Uttanasana. Nice and easy. Inhale, sit bone sky. Head reaches across the room. Exhale, forward fold. Just pedal your legs for a minute. Greet your hamstrings as we did on the earth. Remember how the femur bones rocked inside the pelvis. We create that same action with our breath. We'll unfurl our way up. So root down, big toe ball out, inner heel, little toe out, heel, hands to big toes, head and heart heavy.
Hands up your shins in greeting and gratitude. Hands up your thighs. We draw the energy from the earth up our torso all the way to your floating ribs. Take a wide stance. Flick your hands wide, and I like to open and close the fingers a few times to really get the energy flowing a little brighter. Ha. Inhale, palms to the heavens. Exhale, cascade to one side. Whee. May the gaze lift up, the feet root down. Breathe that breath down to your tailbone, to your root as you sweep your arm by your ear and use the press of the earth to rise back up. Nice. Exhale, cascade, second side. Reach, lower your hand, turn to open your heart. Breathe from your little toe to your little finger, from your heels to your thumbs. Let your front body, back body sweep to encompass you, arm by ear. Root down, squeeze heels to the midline. Breathe your way up. So that pulsation breath is spiraling through those circles of light. Exhale, cascade forward into your fold. Nice. Just rock for a moment, then end up binding the edge of your left foot with your right hand. Bend your opposite knee, so you're holding the straight leg, bending the other leg, and pulsate a few times. Feel that sacral area getting a gift of breath. The sacral area getting a gift of spaciousness. Nice. Then end up with both legs straight. The left arm lifts away from the left leg in this this folded twist. So press the earth with your fingers, press the earth with your feet. Breathe from your tailbone to your crown and spin your heart open. 3-part in-breath to float, out-breath to fold. Just sweep your hands across your mat to gather the other foot. You can hold the foot, the ankle, the shin, whatever is appropriate for your flexibility this morning. Bend the left knee as you pulsate a few times to lengthen the back, side, ribs. Nice. Inhale, balanced action, left and right limbs. Breathe your body long and then unfurl your wings. The right arm spins open. Breathe into the different sensations on the right and the left. Reach from your heart to your fingertips, from your tailbone down to the earth, so we shine a little bit brighter. Exhale to close. The hand sweeps in. Just rock in your forward fold for a moment, and then heel toe your feet to the midline, finding a little more balance. Exhale, Uttanasana. Find the base of your big toe, inner heel, little toe, outer heel, so we're buoyant on our feet, and we'll unfurl again. Soft knees, breathing your way up, feet rooted into this moment of time, igniting that spark. Lift up as you tap into that radiant power of grace. It's like you're Superman, tearing away all that covered you and bound you and held you back. Reach your arms long, chin mudra, fingers, hands overhead. This honoring the journey, the way, and then open your palms and track that midline, that balanced action of left, right, front, back home to your heart, and just check in. Where is my breath? Is it reaching all the way down my entire capacity to be breathed? Is it exhaling everything that might be holding me back? So you have the option to fold the back half of your mat up and or place your paper plates, if that's what you're using, behind you. The blanket will be at the end of the mat, or you can simply step back and step up. There's no right or wrong, nowhere you have to be. Come to what would be the front of your mat. We'll take a few times tippy toes and chair. Inhale,
reach up on the big toe ball now, little toe ball now. Root them into the earth. Find space in between. Exhale, come down to chair. Hands back, heart bright. See how low your torso is happy to go. Inhale as if you were jumping with radiant joy. Up onto your tippy toes. Fingertips bright. Exhale, back to chair. Maybe you can sweep the earth with your fingertips as you go. Last time this play, then we'll take a leg width. Inhale, tippy toes to find balance. Exhale, chair. Next time, left leg will come with. Inhale, no tippy toe, but lift the left heel, the left toe, the left leg with your hands. Nice. Exhale, now right leg bends. We stay bright. We stay with that spark ignited toward the heavens. Simply bend the right knee, reach your left leg back. It might find the blanket and just slide to lunge. Can we reach into our back body even though we're on a slippy surface rather than just hanging forward where we are safe? Exhale, press hands down, slide the blanket in and then press your hand into your knee. Create resistance where we can start to spiral more energy into our roots, our sacrum, our solar plexus, our heart, our throat, our third eye, our crown. Reach the hand up and then leg back one more time. Exhaling back. Nice. Inhaling up. Again, hand to knee. Create that lift, like when the hand comes off the knee, we shoot up to the heavens. Last time back in a little hold. So try to bend the knee first, step back second. Yes, this knee's going to want to wobble all over the place, and that's our energy to keep it there. Pause and lunge, maybe a little baby crescent right and left. Coming back up, the hands press down onto an imaginary surface to create the lift of the low belly, and everything follows. Knee, flick the toes forward, and exhale, foot to earth, thumbs to sternum. Lift your sternum with your thumb, reach your hands, tippy toes. Exhale, chair, maybe even sweep the earth. Inhale, start to rock a little forward, tippy toes as we lift. Ankle strength, so we need our whole limbs to be vibrant and bright with life force. Exhale, chair, and then we take our right leg with. Inhale, heels stay down, right leg lifts, but how light can you feel? Are we lifted from our inner source, not our shoulders and our heart? Exhale, start to bend your bottom knee as you just hinge your right hip back so you, whoops, I lost my slippiness here. Slide into your lunge. Different expression this side. Ooh, I'm hanging forward, needs to green back. Exhale, press hands down. Root to rise. Drag the leg in. Press hand to knee. Feel when we greet our body, we greet our center. We start to spin those bundles of light. Exhale again, bend, hinge, step, and slide. Ooh. So powerful, yet so bright. Coming back in, hands press down to side. So different to me. Press the knee for a little inner power. Feel how that moves your energy back into your belly, up your back body to the crown of the head. Step back and hold. High lunge. Slippy surface. Again, if it's too much, be on the sturdy floor. Take a baby crescent side to side just to make life interesting, and then press down to rise up. Woo! Bend the knee, flick the toes, and step back down. Hands pause. Crown of the head. Third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, feel your heart beating. Then you can spin the hands downward, sacrum, root, almost make that triangle. It is those two triangles of light that meld in the middle. And shed. Just sweep for a minute. Whichever side was over-efforting, give it permission to do less. Whichever side was participating less, invite it to do more. So we come to Madhya as the movements get smaller, as we come to balance. Keep your blanket where it was at the back of your mat. We've got one more little play, the same actions with our leg lengthening first. So it might be a little bit more room in front. Good. Take a big shoulder unwrap. This huge tapping into source. And then let the heart receive, let it meld with all your other energy centers so that spark starts to light with it. Inhale to your tippy toes. We'll just do one this time. Exhale to your chair. This is to find your feet, to find your strength. Inhale, come up, bring that left leg with hand to knee and lengthen your leg forward. Opposite arm up, so we pause. Can we be lifted from our inner body more than hip flexor and quad? Bend your bottom knee as you swim the leg back straight. Okay, you know, you bend it a little bit to blanket. We slide. Option to tap your knee. Know where you have to go to crash on the hard floor. Inhale, press down. Root back up. Hand to knee. Leg lengthens. Arm to sky. Same dance. One more time. Swim the leg back. Start to bend. Slide. Maybe tap. You can press the hands down so you feel as if you have a surface to press into. Note the fluctuations, little shimmies of the bottom leg. Last time, press, lengthen, maybe hold for a pause, and then we swim back and we'll stay down for an exhale. Toes to blanket, leg back, knee lands. Try to land it on the blanket. Don't want kneecaps crashing on the earth. Dancer, Anjaneyasana, a little baby crescent. You might even tap the earth either side. Just this dance of expansion within. Sweet. Okay, coming up is the tricky part. So we press down energetically with our hands to lift our knee and our low belly. We hug the midline to find our way forward. We kick off that extra effort and find lightness in being, and then slowly foot to earth, hands track down the midline, honoring each spiraling circle of light along the way, and we'll come to our second side, hinging forward, opening our heart. Inhale, slightly different dance, chair pose, nice, root to rise. Tippy toes, just once. And then next time we'll take our right leg with. So exhale down to chair. That closing action. Inhale, hand to knee as you lift. Downward leg presses, hand and knee press. So half our energy is going down, clearing the way for the rest to spiral upward as you lengthen your leg. Your leg can be low or high. Inhale for a breath as you hug from the foot into the pelvis, from the pelvis to the heart to the crown. Exhale, leg goes back, knee starts to bend, toes capture your blanket, and we drift down, maybe a little knee tap. You can always have your blocks here for a little assist in the rooting and rising, the ebbing and flowing. Inhale, root down to rise up, press, no easy action. Hand to knee, kick your foot straight like you're releasing any excess effort. We got one more. Inhale to go back. Toes curl under, knee lands, and we'll pause this time in dancer. Yeah, please put your hands down before you lower your knee for a little more accuracy. Take that baby crescent. Maybe you tap a block or the earth. So we always make expansiveness, spaciousness first in order to be able to twist into our V. Root to rise, press down. Woo! Hips are starting to talk. To come up, press your knee, flick off that excess effort. Hands to heavens, foot to earth. And drift down. Whoops. Chakra to chakra, combining that flow of energy all the way to the earth. Shake it up. We'll just slide our blanket off to the side. You can either open your mat or leave it folded. We'll enjoy a little dog pose flow before we move on. I'm just leaving my mat as it is. Pause to unwrap. So this huge ball of light unwraps your hands from your heart. Nice. Exhale, hinge into your forward fold. So halfway down is all about making space. And then we put the brakes on. Squeeze your heels just a little bit. The belly backs up so we don't overemphasize one energy of light over the other. Uttanasana. Inhale, hands walk forward. Plank. So we're just going to float our heart back and forth a few times. So gaze, so start crown chakra. Third eye, gaze towards your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacrum, and your root as you return to Adho Mukha. And then reverse that. Lift up from your root, your sacrum, your ribs, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and then your crown way across the room. If you want to do a micro bend, you can add that there. Returning back, gaze, crown, third eye, throat, heart, ribs, sacrum, root, and then two more, a little more fluidly. Just unfurl your body forward. Maybe a baby bend. Inhale, reverse, starting from the crown, ending up at the sacrum. One more will actually land. So unfurl your spirit, your desire forward, and this time bend knees or no knees all the way down. Take your hands wide for a little shoulder dance. See if you can play the infinity sign behind your heart. One direction and then the other. I love the way it feels on that second, less familiar side. Nice. Drift your hands back to your floating ribs. Feel like they're dragging along the floor so your heart puffs. And lower your heart, lift your legs, finding our back chain of muscles. Good. Lift your heart, lower your legs, maybe lift up slightly. Exhale, bend elbows, lift limbs, flex your feet. Inhale, lift heart, catch your toes, and then reverse that flow all the way back. Adho Mukha, and then simply walk your hands back to your feet, returning to Uttanasana. Shake your head, yes, no, left, right, that little play, and we'll unfurl our way up as we did before. Hands to big toes, ankles, shins. Just lift away from your body that excess effort. Clear it, cleanse it to your hips, and then just flick your fingers. Nice. As a little break, we'll just take a little bit of energy tapping. So just tap your sternum, tap below your collarbone. This awakens our heart chakra, lets the breath, the energy spin a little more freely. Nice. And then go up to forehead. You can use fingertips, you know what I mean? Bashing your own head, just little fingertips along above the eyebrows, down to your jaw, cheekbone, jaw, all the way off the jaw, and then the hands kind of just drift downward. Good. The shoulder shrug, just check in Tadasana. Where am I in my my being have I taken that seed of light, that spark of Lakshmi, and can I start to feel it encompass every cell within and shine my torso a little brighter. Nice. Wherever you feel dull, we'll send awareness. Where you're feeling vibrant, we'll celebrate with breath. Your blanket will go back behind your mat, and we'll come back for another little playful sequence. Have your blocks either side at the front, and then we'll take them back with us. So instead of chair, it'll be Uttanasana 3 times, but still do tippy toe, hands to heavens, full and bright. Do you feel a little more balanced in this shape now? Exhale, heels go down, hinge your hips back, reach your fingers toward the earth, a little hamstring play. We did some hamstring work. They should be feeling pretty good. Inhale, a little more weight on the toe ball mounds, arms by ears, root through the feet, squeeze the heels to the midline so you lift up from root, sacrum, low belly, heart, throat, third eye, crown. Even a baby, lean back. Good. We'll hinge forward and hold. Exhale. Release that breath of old. Find your way down. This time you'll wrap your left big toe with your thumb and 2 fingers. Your right hand is welcome to go on a block and have a micro bend in your right knee. Exhale all the way in, belly to spine. Inhale, shift your weight on your right foot so the left foot lifts. So you have your toe, but you've hiked your hip to lift the leg. So the foot is light in your fingers. Breathe your back body bright as you inhale your way up, bringing the leg with you. So you have a little bend, a little spring in your bottom knee. Yes, we will wobble. Maybe we will fall, but we'll always root to rise. Pause here. Pada. 1 knee is welcome to be bent if hamstrings are complaining. Exhale, open to 2. Leg goes wide, gaze maybe the opposite way. Choose cactus or lengthened arm. Inhale, woo, wobbly breath, leg back to center. Exhale to release. Inhale, leg goes all the way back as we did before, tapping your blanket. Just slide your foot back on the blanket. All the way back. Knee will land as we did before. Your blocks are there if you desire them. Dancer and Jananasana for a breath. Exhale to runners. Hands come down inside your leg as you bow inward. That's that pause to check in. Where do I need to bring more positive light? Where do I need to find more spaciousness? Hands straddle your foot, bend your knee back to Anjaneyasana, a little root to rise. Exhale, back to runners. Maybe the hands go outside the foot. We greet the outer leg. You can even press your extended arm and foot, hand and foot together as you fold. Last time, back to dancer. Come forward, knee over ankle, belly to spine, root, sacrum, ribs, heart, throat, crown, gaze upward to fingertips, little finger bright front body, then lift your thumb, let your back body reach longer as we come back to runners. This time we'll take a block with and slide our back leg back so the block is ready to receive your front leg. Exhale, simply slide backwards into your back body to greet your back body and capture your block, whatever height works for you. Not your deepest splits, Hanuman, but a visit there. Nice. You can press your leg down toward the earth. Feel how the sacrum, the low belly lifts as we root down through our heel and our shin. Option to crescent right and left. That playful nature of your spark of light. As Lakshmi comes above the ocean, she shines even fuller and brighter. This is leaping, that leap of faith. Exhale for a breath to fold forward. Coming out the way we went in, slowly bending your front knee, inviting the back leg forward. Let the blocks come back to the front. Exhale, bend your front knee. Just take a little pause. Yes, you'll be feeling hamstrings, quads, everything talking just a little bit. But can it be a breath movement? Inhale, back knee and hands, or just back knee and hands to blocks. Slippy lunge. Exhale, tracking our way back in. Woo, and just release effort, the celebration, and then bring it home. Hands, palms together. Tapping in, checking in as they journey back down your torso. Where am I on the inside? Shoulder shrug to unwrap your heart. How smooth can that string of breath be? Can I root to rise with grace, with ease, with light, with delight? Inhale, tiptoes. Root down to raise up. Exhale. I know I'm all over the well. Place on my feet today. Exhale. Hinge. Heels land. Heart forward. Gently find your way to Uttanasana. Uttanasana, you can check in. Press your big toes. Drag your inner heels back. Press your little toes. Root down through the outer heel as your arms come by your ears. Your heels try to hug the midline, and you lift one energy center at a time until you are floating light and bright up once more. This time we'll fold and bind. Exhale, hinge. Softening your way down. Right hand to right, big toe. Left hand can be on your block for support. Shift your weight onto your right foot, but lift your right belly away. Don't collapse onto it. A micro bend in the knee as you hike. Sorry, that was the left foot. As you hike your right foot off the earth. Lift the gaze, lift the heart. Root down through the four corners of your downward foot, and maybe you can bring gently your leg to the sky. The knee can be bent, of course. You could not have a bind. You could just be in Tadasana, being fully present in the moment. Inhale, release. Can we still find lightness within? Low belly bright. Exhale, the leg swings back. We bend our bottom knee. Capture the back of the blanket. Gently lower. Hands can use the blocks to arrive there with ease. Let me get my knee on the blanket. There we go. Your moment in dancer to shine. And exhale, just shift your hips back as we fold forward. Runner's lunge. Hands inside the foot so the inner hamstrings can shine. So as we unwrap the binding between the cells and free up the energy to reach, we can breathe and be breathed a little bit deeper. Inhale back to dancer. Hands can go on the blocks or to the heavens. Little finger lifts so our front body shines bright, but then the thumbs expand the back ribs, lift them up, almost like little hooks, so we're not collapsing downward, but we're being breathed upward. Exhale, runner's lunge. Hand comes outside the little toes, so you get a hamstring stretch on the outer hammies. Feel like you're trying to drag the heel back. The hip crease moves back. The tailbone, the sacrum, the ribs, the heart, everything can reach long over your extended leg. Nice. Last time back to Anjaneyanasana. If you wish, hands on knees. I love this because it's a way to reverse our front body to greet the back, and then root to rise to lift up with balanced action. So delight in this play of the lightness within, except where we're dark, a little dreary inside and not quite aware. Exhale, shift back,
to fold over your extended leg. Have your blocks ready for your Hanuman that will back up into. So it's like a softening into it rather than screeching into it. So start to slide your back knee back. Walk your hands back. Have your block on whatever height is appropriate to capture the back of your front thigh. Ooh. And if you're like me, this front thigh has a lot more to say than the other side. Maybe a crescent, reaching little finger, thumb, front body, back body, light and bright. Exhale to switch, or just stay in the moment, in the pose. A little fold forward if your body wishes to go there. Inhale to lift your heart, gently return, draw inward, back knee inward. Bend your front knee, maybe blocks this time are good, back to our dance, or float the back knee, lift your hips, draw your low belly in, and then root to rise. Press the earth, bring the leg forward, up, kick away any excess effort, flick it off, slowly release the foot. The hands, doing that reverse dance down your energy centers, crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacrum, roots, spinning all those colors into oneness in your center, and a little shimmy just to let that effort go. Your legs should be toasty warm, maybe on fire, happily working. So we'll take that shape up the wall in a flying splits. If you do not wish to be balancing on your hands in a flying splits, you can repeat Hanuman on the earth. So wherever your wall space is, we'll come and kneel just forward of it. Hands in front of your legs in all fours, a slightly short all fours. Hug your knees to your hands and let your chakras unfurl you. Let the light spin, let the colors deepen as you take this big arch shape, back body connected to source. Claw with your fingertips, middle wrist creases out of shoulder width apart. Press your toes, hover your knees for a moment, and then take your gaze to in between your thumbs as you lift your sit bones toward the wall. So we've lengthened our heart, a bit of a dog tilt, but you haven't lost the cat arch in your low belly. Staying in this little closed bundle, just sneak one leg way behind you, sky high on the wall. Toes are curled under to capture the wall. Lengthen your back lifted knee as if your foot was sliding away on the blanket. And then both legs feel like they're drawing the blanket to the midline. So your toes on the wall, now try to slide down the wall. And that might let you flex the bottom foot and drag it up the wall. So one foot's trying to drag down, one foot's trying to sky up. Press from your heart through your hands. Lift from your low belly through your toes. Maybe hover the heel off the wall toward you, and then slowly step down. One, look forward, step down. Two, lower your knees. Reach your fingertips forward for an extended child. Hips to heels, but lead through your circles of light. Clean, clear, align, our little inner mantra. Tailbone, root, low belly, ribs, solar plexus, heart, throat, communication. Are we being honest with ourselves in our practice? Third eye, crown, and then unfurl back to your seat, following that same fluid chain of light within. So we'll let that light lift us on the second side. Decide if you need to change anything. Take a little wrist stretch in between. You can spin your palms, your wrists around a few times. Shake
flick, release the effort and come to the second side with a sense of something new. Palms in front of your knees, so decide if you could have been closer or if you needed to be further. Fingertips claw, knuckles press, wrist creases try to stay light by squeezing your fingertips toward one another as your hands press and your spine rounds. Cat arching, your energy circles so vibrant and bright. Hover your knees, then look forward toward your thumbs with your heart, with your hands, with your gaze. Step up opposite leg. Toes curl under to catch the wall. Feel like you're dragging those toes down the wall, like you slid the blanket in toward you to come back to standing as you press your hands into the earth. Slide your bottom heel up. Maybe hover it off the wall toward your face while your hands press away. So we're moving in all these different directions, spinning lighter and brighter. Soften the neck, the throat, the gaze as you lower your foot. Look forward, come back to your knees, to child, just to check in before we move on. Tailbone, sacrum, low belly, heart. So follow that journey back up your body, the same journey that took us up the wall. Nice. As you gently inhale, unfurl your way back up, checking in with your neck, your throat. So as you land back on your knees, slide a hand under a foot on one side and just let your head tip very gently. It's not your mightiest, it's just a recognition that we'll often try to fight going upside down, going into the unknown, spinning brighter by holding on to our neck, our throat, and our heart. So just greet them. Greet them anew. Second side hand is under toe, bottom out, like, oh, maybe that's where my energy is stuck or holding on a little bit too tight. Nice. Curl your toes under or have a block either side. Just a little counter pose. Left hand to left heel. Press down, lift your hips and crescent your right arm like you're lifting that cliche, that veil, that old habit, drawing it away from the earth, this little baby half camel shape, a shape of delight. And then exhale, reverse out the way you came in. Side crescent over, almost leaning forward, spinning around opposite side, right hand to right heel, pressing down into your foot or the block as you lengthen back ribs, side ribs, front ribs, making more room to shine so bright within. Sweet exhale. There's a little pause. Hands come back down. Shift back to your squat. I love the way this always feels on the low back. You can walk your feet, a little left, right. So we'll come up either Uttanasana or prayer hands in squat. Squeeze the knees to your arms. Press your arms to the knees the same way we pressed our knees, our limbs as we stood and lifted our leg. So maybe by squeezing and pressing in, we can lift up without really hinging forward. We can just float our chakra, our energy circles, our lightness, our brightness, however you root to rise and up. 5-pointed star, our little ta-da pose. Gotta go there. Take a little wave. Celebration of whatever you are unwrapping, unearthing within. And then we'll take a similar play on the wall as we did. Hands down, one shoulder shrug. This time we'll come to face the wall. Have your blocks somewhere toward the wall, so they're within reach. Sip of water, if like me you didn't drink enough yesterday. In our wonderful Florida heat. And be about one leg's length from the wall, your guesstimation. Nice. Fingertips to the wall, just to see. Good. And then on the inhale, same action as we did. We hinge our hips back. Bend our knees, press your right knee into your hand as you lift, slide your hand to your shin, almost like happy baby, so you can draw and place your foot on the wall. Decide if your bottom foot is back enough that we can lean inward. We don't want to be falling backward. Have the foot just level with your front shoulder or a little lower is fine. Inhale, hands to heavens. Exhale, reach fully through your thumb for the back body, little finger for the front. Keep that spaciousness and pulsate toward the wall once. So it's these pulsations we're playing with today, that energy of Spanda. Inhaling, exhale, igniting the brightness and sharing and shining. And then pause at the wall, deep lunge. Slide your hands down so your heart tries to lift and shine. Press the elbow to your shoulder, shoulder, not elbow, shoulder to your knee, knee to your shoulder to create more lightness, more length. Nice. Then slowly straighten the leg on the wall. You might have to do some little maneuvers with your feet to be in the right plane. Glimpse down at your bottom foot as parallel as it can be with the edge of your mat, hands to the heavens, and just pause. So same shape we have explored, but now we're on the wall. Foot tries to drag down the wall. So your belly lifts, your heart's light. We get a little brighter. Exhale, forward fold. Just like we began, honoring where we are in our body, right here, right now. Inhale to lift. Keep your right hand going back so you spin into a pada 3. Front hand to shin, back hand reaching. Enjoying this beautiful ringing out, twisting of your body, yet serving from your palm to the universe. So we're not closed in, we are reaching out. Inhale the hands back over. Woo. Exhale, heel off the wall, toe off the wall. Slowly descend. Swing the leg all the way back like we had done, and fingertips greet the wall. So yes, our downward hip might be saying, hello. Your hands, like your foot, try to drag down. So your belly actually lifts up. The leg is bright. Bend your knee halfway. Inhale, straighten, walk hands up the wall. Bend your knee 3/4 of the way. Woo! As long as you can come back up and crawl, climb back up the wall. Back body bright. Exhale, hands all the way down, placing your right hand on a block. And spin your left hand to the wall. Walk it up. Revolved half moon, just throwing it in there. Maybe something like this. Maybe there's a place that we can find spaciousness, balance, brightness, circles of light, even though we're twisted, folded, supported, feeling uncertain at times. Exhale, hand back down. I'm just moving over so you can see me. Knee by your little toe, so bending, coming down to land. Trying to get on my mat. Slide the foot back so your knees are crossed. As we have been working our twists and shapes, you have a block or a blanket to slide under your hips as you shift your hips back for a little relief into Gomukhasana. Coming back home to awaken, to fill, to be completely breathed with life force. Hands can gently, don't push the knee, just resist them together so we shift our energy circles in and up our torso as we root down and reach fingers to the sky. Inhale, little finger by shoulder blades, travel down. Low belly lifts up so we're buoyant yet soft and at ease. Crescent to your right. Right hand down. Left arm lengthens. Woo! Hello sacrum. Hello hip. Hello heart. Just greet yourself with your breath. Inhale up. Crescent. Second side. Hand to the earth, reaching all the way over. Woo! Those sensations all hold little stories. We give those stories permission to be released. We need them no longer. Inhale to come back up. Exhale onto your knees, or you can just unwrap your legs, whatever is easier. You know where we need to go. Come up to cross-legged Uttanasana if you are going this way, and then I just spin to unwrap, hands to hips, root to rise. Find our way back to Madhya, to our midline, to balanced action. Check in with your hips. They're going to be strong and powerful, yet open and bright. Good. Come to face your wall. We've only got 2 legs, so second side. Decide where you were at. If you had a hard time leaning in, if you can reach. Root your feet to the earth to lift, lengthen, and rise. That spark being ignited within. Exhale, hinge your hips back, so we lengthen our torso. Then we hug in over that length. Press your hand to your left knee as we had done before. Slide your hand to your shin or ankle so you can try it a little higher. Step your foot onto your wall. Everyone's going to want to hear footprints on your walls. Reach your hands to the heavens and 3 pulsations to come a little closer. Inhale to lift, back body buoyant. Exhale to melt inward. Greeting the sensations along the way. Inhale to pulsate. Remember, shoulder blades are going home, down behind your back. Your belly lifts so we're lighter and brighter in our torso. Exhale toward the wall. Third one will hold, so just float. The foot feels like it's trying to drag down the wall, so it makes more space to come into this deep lizard lunge in a different plane. Press your knee into your shoulder, resist your shoulder to your knee. Reach from your tailbone to your crown, each chakra filling its own space as you drift your heart inward. We gaze, we soften our gaze as we melt and receive the shape, the pose, the dance. Then inhale slowly, straighten the leg on the wall. You might need to do some little micro adjustments. Hands to heavens. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift and twist. So the one hand stays with the foot or the calf as it had done so, and we spin from our low belly. Root into the wall, root into the earth, spin your energy circles, clean, clear, and align. Gaze out maybe over your backhand, palm up, even chin mudra, that limited perspective of self wrapped within the universal possibility of full expansion as we smile outwardly, inwardly. Inhale to unfurl. That was a long hold. Woo! Lift your heart, swim your leg. Back hands to the wall, warrior 3. Let the breath lift your entire back body so you're lighter on your hip. Exhale that little half bend. Look around you for your block. Inhale, walk hands up and pause. Exhale, floating a little deeper. Whoo, root down to walk your hands back up. Third breath, hands all the way down to your block. Left hand on your block. Place it wherever it needs to be so you can spin. Foot imagines the wall and we spin our top arm any amount open. As long as the belly is lifting upward and inward and the tailbone is lengthening downward and away, and our heart can maybe shine just a little bit bright. Slowly lower your hand. Start to bend your knee. Bring your foot the opposite side of your leg. So the knee comes around
to greet your little toe. Bend both knees to the earth, so we're ready to sit back into Gomukhasana. I like this coming into it this way because the cross is deep. Our calves are out of the way, or at least sort of. So reverse your body again as we did to Hanuman. We reverse. You take your blanket as you need it to land in Gomukhasana. Whew, I lost my bind a little bit on the legs and I notice my body's hanging forward, so I have to tip inward and backward to accommodate what's going on in the hips. Breathe a little bit of balance, left and right, so one hip wants to stay sky high. Hands greet the knees as we root. Feel that red circle of bright light spinning. Clean, clear, align. Orange, clean, clear, align. Reach. Yellow, front, back, left, right. Clean, clear, align. Let's tip to the left. Hand down, right arm up and over. Heart center, bright, green, spinning circle of light. Clean, clear, align. Inhale up through center, opposite hand. Down a gentle crescent, over. Take that extra breath. And we'll reach up to our throats. Clean, clear, align. Your head is expanded freely. Third eye. Clean and clear. And as we gently fold forward, crown. Let that light, purple indigo light, cascade down and over you. A greeting, a welcoming, a coming back home to your center, to your spark, to yourself. Slowly unfurl. And this time we'll just take one leg off. Woo. The other leg off. Heel toe your feet mat width apart. And slide the blanket away. And windshield wiper. After that journey of moving inward, windshield wiper to release what might still be holding on a little too tight. And we'll come to our same little playful counter pose. Knees are to one side, hand roots down, and just lift up onto your shins. So even though as we're lowering toward the earth, we can still shine bright. Nice. Exhale, a gentle unfurl. Inward, no hands, just lift your knees, lift your feet, organically move to the other side, hand behind you, root to rise, lift your hips, fingers overhead. So even though it's a back bend, a stimulating pose, it's still quieting as we lower downward and inward. Lower your hip, bring your knees back to the midline. I'm going to unfurl my mat, so have room behind you to land your torso back down on the earth. And we'll come down to some last twists. So hands to thighs, press in. Inhale, try to widen out. So we fill our entire being. We fill every cell. We fill the spaces between the cells with that radiant light force of being. And even as we curl in and slowly lower down, we don't lose that brightness. Rock on to your sacrum. Shine your heart. That's that orange, bright light. Rock on to your low ribs, yellow. Your identity, your brightness. Slowly unfurl the ribs behind your heart. Feel that big green, vibrant light. Lengthen the base of your skull so your throat has space to soften inward. And fill the back of your neck with brightness. Press the base of your skull to the earth. Feel third eye bright. And then as you lower your hands,
that vibrant indigo brightness up, over, and around you, bending your knees. Inhale, lift your heels, press toes away so your belly drops in. Back to where we start, flick your toes up. Flick the sand away, the dirt away, the debris away, and then lower them back down. Nice. Move your hips a few inches to the right. Then take that same action, keeping the belly level, cross your right knee over your left. You can do a double bind if you wish, and exhale, twist to the left. Oh, maybe a snap, maybe a pop. Untuck that left shoulder as your toes land. Then maybe the knee drifts toward the earth. It does not have to arrive. It can hover, have a block or a blanket or a hand. Maybe the gaze drifts out the opposite way. Take a gentle in-breath to slide into this twist. Let that in-breath create more spaciousness within, even though you're bounded and folded and twisted. Exhale completely. Inhale your legs back up. Nice. Take that gentle unwrap, the lower. Shift your hips through the middle to the opposite side. Left knee over right. Your wings root down, your breath fills your back body, and then we exhale along that lengthened spine, nurturing your hips as you slowly lower. I like to land the toes first, untuck that right shoulder a little bit more, then maybe drop in a little deeper. Your gaze is welcome to turn the opposite way if that is available to you. You'll notice where the resistance is and treat your body to a beautiful fluid breath, especially right there. This is our chance to nurture, to create space, acceptance, and lightness, where often we just gloss over on the outside. Nice. Exhale completely. Inhale to midline. Hug your legs in. Give themselves a little rock. Realign your hips. Just take a happy baby to balance the left and the right. Slide your feet away. Press both knees with both hands to drop your belly downward, inward. Then slowly lengthen your legs. Sweep your arms overhead so you land back body right. Decide if there's enough length. Sometimes it's nice to use the mat to unfurl your entire spine to lengthen the base of your skull. Then unwrap the feet and let them fall open. Let the knuckles land on the earth. Let the breath sweep from the heels to the crown of your head, up the back body. Let the exhale soften down the front, melding the energy into one. Let the breath sweep up the sides of your body and let it encompass the entirety of you with nurturing light as it trickles back out. Treat this beautiful physical form that you have twisted and balanced, strengthened and lengthened to 3 more slow Ujjayi in-breaths and out-breaths. And feel free to remain where you are as long as you desire.